select my setup.
All right. Welcome everybody and anybody who's watching. We are trying something a little bit new today.
That makes sense.
I am going to be
And
piping in the audio of the call of the players.
This is one of the matches that I'm kind of worried about because from what I saw, you
DodoBirb.
haven't lost any games yet.
Not yet. No, I have not yet. So I'm going to.
So we've got them starting out.
Better have some defense
and,
before too long.
DodoBird is at the bottom. Is that correct?
So now I have actually loaded the.
He's got a blue 3 and a red 1 in his homeworld as a star with a green 3 ship. The other one, there's a blue 2 and a yellow 1. They're both transferred to red and growing red like crazy. The basic rule of thumb is once one person gets a gun, they both get a gun.
It's often advantageous to stick with the same color that the other person is working on because you get your ships faster. Otherwise you might be left behind.
Right.
And now, Will, to confirm, you are probably not hearing the players right now. Is that true?
That's right. Well, I'm hearing them in my ears when they speak, but I'm not hearing them right now. No.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the volume
You have
back
them
up.
muted.
I mean,
I had them.
Oh, you were running the volume up and down.
No, we're definitely not.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that back up and see. We can listen to them.
I'll build another one there.
There you go. Now you're trying for like a freeze out possibility there. That's all right.
I mean, you could always trade the R2 for the yellow, so it's not entirely that bad for you.
No, I don't think I'm gonna be completely frozen out or anything like that. So we'll see how this goes.
He's correct. He's got a red 2 at home, so he can always do that.
Mm-hmm.
He can always switch to that. But he's definitely jumping into the yellow.
Stevie's got a pretty good head start on the yellow. If he spreads out those yellows.
Don't have a gun.
And perhaps a little bit of information is in order, Jonathan, for anybody that happens to be finding this thing on Memorex. We're playing in a tournament of the game called Homeworlds, which is invented by John Cooper, published by Looney Labs, and is available at looney-labs.com. And we've recently been able, due to the technology supplied by Friends Pi is his name, is that correct?
He goes by Pi, yes.
Yeah, and so he's built this site so that we can play online during COVID and have a tournament that's live. So you're watching a game that is being played live. And for those that understand Homeworlds, it should be pretty self-explanatory. But for those that don't,
no.
We'll try to talk about how things work a little bit. Though I think everybody who's watching, at least those who are watching the stream live, are going to understand the game quite well. The game will be available as a VOD. People can watch it after we've created this stream. Forever, as long as YouTube survives.
As long as YouTube survives.
We may or may not get a chance to talk about the rules of the game very much, but I can tell you a little bit about how this will affect the tournament. So Stevie is ahead of DodoBirb in score in the cadet division. Stevie has a perfect record in the cadet division. He's won all 10 of his games so far. DodoBirb has lost just one game. Now they're going to play each other 2 times. So DodoBirb will have, if DodoBirb wins both of these games and then wins the 2 other games that he's been assigned, his score right now is 7. That'll take him up to 11. So he could actually beat Stevie, but he has got to win both of these two games to have any chance of beating Stevie. If they even draw in one of these games, then the best that DodoBirb can do is draw or is tie for first place division. And I'm gonna in the stream, it's gonna show some stuff flashing around real quick. Bringing up the score. There's Stevie with his perfect 10 for 10, and here is DodoBirb with 7 out of his 8 so far. Okay, let's get back to watching this game a little bit.
To sacrifice that. Get that.
So we still have. I'm still.
worthwhile.
Who is he? Say Stevie's at the bottom, so he's got the yellows, and is making a good go of
submit until
creating a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we might be getting yellow 3 there right now.
Yeah, he could.
Nope. Was that a factory? Interesting.
Looks like he was thinking about it. Let's see. Have I got
your distance? I don't think you can strike, my home base there, with green.
Oh dear, I think I've got the names in the wrong places for this.
And it'll be just costly enough, I think, that it's worthwhile for me to do it.
I got the names in the wrong places for the those who are watching the stream. I'm sorry about that. Stevie is at the top and DodoBirb is at the bottom.
I could catastrophe 4 if I sack my yellow.
Yellow 2.
But that's not a worthwhile trade because that's 2 mediums for
a medium and 2 smalls. Same amount of chips, but I don't think it's worthwhile for you.
I think bigger ships are better than lots of smaller ships. I think that's generally how it works.
Yeah,
I generally agree with that.
Genuinely right.
I'm gonna be able to.
And that's DodoBirb theorizing that he did rather have a larger ship rather than lots of small ships, and I generally agree with that policy. So DodoBirb
I look at the
little down on
as the little ones, the 1 pips are like a little exploration ship. It's got tens of people on there. And then the mediums are a little bigger. Have got hundreds of people, and the 3s would be thousands of people. So that it's equivalent to the power of the ship is equivalent by the size of the ship and what it can do.
Yeah, I generally consider a large ship to be worth more than 3 smalls, but of course you may want 3 smalls if you're trying to make a catastrophe where the single large only contributes 1 toward an overpopulation. Yeah, so
I've got it set up to where I can watch the YouTube chat. So if anybody has any questions and post them in, I'll try to keep up with that while we're going here.
Looks like our viewership is not as high as yesterday, which may be just as well. I'm feeling more less organized than before, and the game is going by without us getting a chance to say much about it because we're started just a little late with our stream. They got ahead of us. So I like. Okay, so DodoBirb is now caught up in Imperial in a big way. Got a second large ship now as well. And DodoBirb has a little bit of a head start in the yellows. But the yellow supply is dwindling fast. That may not be as important as that may not be a place where they really get a chance to distinguish themselves, where there's a big imbalance. Stevie's got 2 red ships, so may be able to get more additional large ships by going through the reds before DodoBirb.
Yeah, especially since he has a factory.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and turn up the player volume again, see if they're seeing it.
So, as it stands with the bank, yeah.
That's good. DodoBirb is seeing him halfway through a factory move here.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
he
that's the
decided to
thing, is
undo it.
that since there's two mediums,
I was confused about, you said he had a second large ship. I don't see this.
He did. DodoBirb apparently had not committed to the move where he had built a second large ship. So right now so right now in this state you can see he had sacrificed his large green. Yeah, so here it is where
right.
this is at the beginning of
That's
his
the
turn. He's got these two large ships, but he keeps sacrificing
Right.
his large
Kind of
green
annoying.
because he's considering a factory move. But
Yeah, we're on a precarious razor's edge at this point on what.
But he's having trouble deciding what he wants to do with that.
What is the razor's edge he sees?
Oh, sorry, I turned their volume down just as he was explaining himself. I think Oz, if DodoBirb builds all of the green,
So
if he factories for all the green, then Stevie can catastrophe him somewhere, and if he factories for the remaining yellow,
back.
he can also get catastrophed.
Oh, I had it turned around still. So DodoBirb is at the bottom. Is that right now?
DodoBirb is at the bottom. Yes. Okay. DodoBirb completed his turn. I was he'd gone back and forth several times, and I missed when he did it to his turn.
He's factoried again here.
Stevie's factorying as bring their volume in.
I imagine you might catastrophe and keep us from getting that second green, but we'll see. That's what I'm going to play.
I would imagine in this move he just grows the green.
Right.
A good trade.
No, he's moving up.
Gonna do a catastrophe.
Oh, he's going.
Why I do that? Looking at this position.
I was wondering why he didn't go to the number 5, so he'd be able to move without sacrificing anything to do that.
Mm-hmm. Hello, sacrifice.
Why do you think he didn't grow the green 3?
Yeah, he could have just built that green 3 at his home, I think.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I like that a lot better. No, he's stuck with this. Catastrophe.
I'm like you. I want as many big ships as I can.
I guess I could speak it out loud, or
That's a Stevie speaking.
I'm really contemplating making you make a choice between a couple. No, that won't work. I don't think it'll work.
Sarah says Stevie is sneaky. I feel like he was trying to trick DodoBird into causing that catastrophe. I think you're correct. But I'm a red shirt and don't know. Well, welcome, Sarah. So you're a new player, or you're saying you're a cadet as well?
Sarah is my wife. She knows the rules, and she's held her own in some games where I would have guessed that she was outmatched.
So she's been watching the tournament with you?
Some of it. She hasn't been watching quite all of the games.
That I can
not quite as into it as you are.
Yes, I'm into it enough to put myself through a lot of pain to try to keep this on its feet. Happened since I looked away.
He grew the yellow one back.
Usually, when both players have the same number of larges, I usually give the advantage to whoever's got the most yellow. Anything else
Oh, you do?
appears to,
Interesting.
yeah, it's how it usually goes in my mind. I'm a little surprised that they haven't moved their large ships out to start trying to harass colonies and forcing the other person to defend with their large.
Right, right. Well, so the way somebody explained it to me at one point in time, and as a general rule of thumb, is if you add a pip count to however closer they are to the other person's homeworld.
Mm-hmm.
So with only two ships there, two spaces away, this would have Stevie as having the advantage right now.
So you would call a Stevie's medium in 7
A 4.
Equivalent to a large if it were in System 4?
No, that would be if you just count points.
Mm-hmm.
So DodoBird at the bottom, we have 2 3s, a 2, and a 1. So
Mm-hmm.
that's 3, 6, 8, 9. And then a 2 and a 1 at the 5. So you add 1 to each of those, and that would be 5 points. So 9 and 5 is 14.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Stevie's got 3, 6, 8, 9 at home. Then those two, the 2 there would be adding to 12. And then the ones that are closer, that'd be 4, 5. So it's 17 points. So by moving that
Mm-hmm.
one up closer, by this calculation, he just grew a
one more
point
point.
value in
Mm-hmm.
power. Again, it's not. It's just a generalization for a
rule of
feel.
thumb. Sure.
Yeah, we use it like you said. The yellows you equate to more power because you can move, and obviously, if you can't move, you're in complete trouble. And on the other side, if you have 2 yellow 3s, you have the beginnings of a doomsday machine, and that's more powerful. That's one of the powerful moves to get out of this game.
Mm-hmm. Right. Maybe let's listen in on the players.
But I need to be concerned of it. So it might be worthwhile to me.
Yes, I could do that. Because I mean, you can't really build it with this threat here.
That's a good point. So
Stevie could build that large yellow, but DodoBirb could catastrophe with sacrificing the medium and 2 smalls.
Something I do have to contemplate is after the trade.
Build it right there at 7.
Yeah,
because I would get half your star. But the question is, does that leave me in a position where I can eventually win?
Yeah, that's always a good question.
I think the answer to that is yes, given how little blue is like.
Right. So if I take that if I take the 3 pip, but I need to make sure my clock doesn't run down too much. So I'm thinking at least protect my situation, move in, threaten to capture yours. So I think that's my best option at this point. So I'm not looking at a catastrophe. Mm-hmm. And at least I can, the most forefront where you could build that 3 pip, which would be the closest to the home world, is something a little difficult to get at now.
So before Stevie moved that yellow 3 out of his home, DodoBirb was threatening, he was prepared to sacrifice his large yellow to move 2 of his yellow ships into Stevie's home and catastrophe the star and his ship.
And while catastrophing a star is what you need to do to end the game, you need to catastrophe both of those in the homeworld. But one of the rules or notes that's in the book, and Andy has beaten into me, is don't blow up half the homeworld until you know how you're going to get the other.
You're not prepared to finish the job? Yep.
Yeah, because you leave yourself wide open, or for me especially, I tend to forget the star arrangement once we lose that ability to have that double protection of 2 steps from one homeworld to the other.
Mm-hmm.
When it starts to break down into one, I tend to lose what's going on.
Yeah, if
Make mistakes.
So if DodoBirb had managed to blow up Stevie's small star, then the homeworlds actually would have got connected, because Stevie's remaining star is medium, and DodoBirb does not have a medium star. So
picking up that yellow 3, he's definitely got himself back into the game.
Yeah, because he had that threat, and it was not safe for Stevie to spend a turn building that large, because he would have lost a large and his star, and he decided that that wasn't worth building that. Can we listen to the players a little again?
Sure.
Right.
Problem with that, though, is that my resources for actually hitting the homeworld are a bit strained, because I only have 4 ships.
Right.
And you've got no yellow in your homeworld besides the star, so I'd need 3 of those 4. And I'd rather save the yellow for doing the blue invasion first, and then moving that into a yellow, like, attack or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I mean, I don't want to help you too much here, but ideally, the yellow attack is, I mean, it'll shrink the universe if you take the yellow star out first, if you are able to.
The DodoBirb's trying to figure out how he's going to.
But I
how
mean,
he's going to get enough blue
it'll shrink the galaxy, which will allow me to re-counter attack a little better, maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. I mean, that is kind of why I want to do the blue first. Also because if I attack with the yellow first, I'm going to lose a lot of yellow ships, some of which are probably going to be multi-pip, which is going to reduce the power I have to be able to send in a bunch of blues into the homeworld.
Right. And so the question is,
this is more contemplation than goes on in a normal game that I play.
This is what I gave up my red, you know, and so
I just realized
that's the problem, is that I need to really make an attack, and right now, you know, green and yellow has been all taken up. You've got your 3 yellow ships and the 1 to sacrifice them to move them in so they're quick enough.
I just realized that I don't think that people could hear me this whole time. Since I switched to the game view. All right, well, I'm sorry about that.
So you're not being heard live stream?
I believe I was not being heard until this very moment, and I also had the screen a little off to the side, so the clocks couldn't be seen well. I wasn't quite set up properly. I made so many changes today. And
no worries. This is learning curve here.
Yep.
We're at beginnings of something. So Sarah had commented that that's how she lost to Stevie too, blowing up the homeworld too early, and then losing the advantage.
Oh, you need to be able to do.
Okay.
So now we're just kind of trying to get each other's homeworld colors.
Right.
I'm going to mute the players again. Okay. Am I being heard here? Oh, interesting. Okay, maybe I just put myself into the audio twice. Sorry about this.
No problem. Now we're getting going on blues, which is always
Okay,
like blues better.
I guess I had the audio correct and just didn't know it.
You were right and didn't know it?
Apparently I was.
You're used to that though, aren't you?
It has happened before.
Yeah, I'm sure Sarah will tell
yeah,
us that.
Yes. Sarah is informed me that she has been able to hear me in the stream.
Tim is saying that he hears some reverb and echo.
Yeah,
I'm not hearing it in my headset.
No, I've got a very complicated audio device set up going on so that we can hear the players when we want them, and I misunderstood. I had it set up correctly, but I didn't know that I had it set up correctly, and so I tried adding myself to the stream again, and then I was in the stream twice, and so people were double hearing me, so not so good.
Yeah, there we go.
So, sorry about that. All right, so...
Very good. We thank the audience for telling us what we're doing wrong and right.
Yeah.
It's helpful. We're inventing the wheel here. Not really. I mean, people do this, but we don't.
Now, this is... And Tim says that he hears us both now, so yeah, this is good.
Yeah, Tim hears both. So Tim, do you hear the players too when he turns the volume up? You guys are hearing the players speak?
Yeah, so you should be hearing the players again right now.
Not an easy situation.
I believe I am quite certain that the players are coming through correctly. I'm getting pretty excited about the game here because I've been hoping that DodoBirb would win this first game, because if DodoBirb wins the first one, then he's got a chance of winning both of them, which will mean that DodoBirb will have a chance of winning the cadet division. It'll make the second game more exciting to watch. Tim says we're doing great. I'm not sure that that's true, but I appreciate your praise. Okay, so Stevie's considering. Oh, I don't think I like that move. I think DodoBirb's gonna sacrifice his medium red, take both that medium yellow and the little red that just here.
Right.
In fact, I'm really surprised. Well, he hasn't committed to that turn yet, so he still could. Let's listen, see if they're talking.
I think you might have forgotten something.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. I forgot. Well played. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
my.
My bad.
And for those of you, if anybody happens to be unfamiliar with the game,
absolutely, you are in a winning position, I would say.
This returning to the bank is so much different than chess, where in chess you take pieces off the board and they don't come back. In this game, they go into the bank and then come back in, so you have a limited number of pieces in the game, but they stay in the game the entire time, which makes it interesting. We had a big system there just a minute ago, and with a little bit of catastrophes, everything changed.
Yeah, there have been a lot of piece exchanges, so they've both lost a lot of pieces, and if that happens in chess, like you say, the game is a lot simpler and there are a lot fewer pieces on the board for the rest of the game. But in Homeworlds, they're going to start building them back, and
it can get just as complicated again.
It may get just as complicated again. In fact, it very well may. Although I think DodoBirb's got quite a large advantage at this point. All of Stevie's ships are in his homeworld. He's only got ships of 2 different colors. He only has 1 large ship, 1 medium, 2 smalls, And DodoBirb's got 2 larges, 1 medium, and 4 smalls now. He's got at least 1 ship of every color. DodoBirb is looking really good here.
I mean, like, at least I took a chunk out of your army, but I think it was a pretty bad blunder. I gotta say, that was pretty bad.
He is correct.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to get into blues, or this is a good time to be sucking up the blue economy. Of course, he's not doing too bad with the reds.
Still have red. I shouldn't be worried here.
Yeah, no, it's just a red. Slow rolling reds are gonna be difficult to do. So absolutely, right? It's gonna be a very difficult thing to do. So let's take.
So you say Stevie is a fairly new player?
Yes, he started playing pretty recently, but he's been very enthusiastic. He's been playing all the games he can. He's been reading all the advice that he can. He's been watching the Homeworlds theater commentaries, and he's been a voracious learner, and he's been doing very well against other players who have, in some cases, have been playing longer than him. But Stevie has caught up very quick. He's done very well.
With just his discussion alone, I'm nervous about playing him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so Stevie, the first stream that we did, Stevie was one of the commentators, and I think he did a fantastic job. He's got a good announcer voice, and his analysis is good.
That's gonna hurt when that happens.
It's about time for a shopping spree.
Yeah.
About before if DodoBirb is going to sacrifice his large green to build the rest of the blue ships, he will want to move one of his small blues out of his home first.
Yeah, from home out. Yep. But 7 is there just waiting to be built on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I were DodoBirb, I would have. Well, he maybe could be worried about Stevie getting back into the game by getting enough yellows.
Right. No, the yellow one is good.
Mm-hmm.
He can't grow at home. He's got to move out.
Yeah.
And he's got to move to a green ship to do it. So it's in order to build.
Yep, there he goes.
There he goes.
And even once he builds there,
he could be in trouble.
He'll only be able to Stevie will only be able to build 1 more yellow. If DodoBirb, yeah, that's exactly what I do. Spread them out. So yeah, sure. Stevie can take the medium, but then Dodo gets the large.
Yeah.
And if DodoBirb, if Stevie doesn't take that medium, well, DodoBirb can take both the medium and the large by sacrificing his green.
But that doesn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be leaning towards that. I'd be leaning on just letting that sit there for a while.
Yep, it's may just let that be a stalemate for the time being.
But right now, with the yellow too, he's got to get that red out of his homeworlds and start building that someplace else too. With only 1 red,
yeah,
it's always hairy.
That little red ship is nice for defense, but it can only be sacrificed once.
Right, and when it's gone, then the other guy's got the power.
Yep, I have won games sometimes, and I don't think I've ever lost because I only had the 1 red to sacrifice. But I know I have won games because I forced my opponent to sacrifice their 1 red ship, and I said, "All right, well, now you've got no red, and I can invade anywhere I want." Let's listen.
There's the build going on.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's in trouble.
Gonna need him. And at least I can swap them. Here they come.
Tim says that he's really enjoying hearing the players and the
Oh.
Now,
commentary
just to
in the same
move
stream.
them up to your home
I hope it's
world.
worth it. It was
I'm going
there were
to.
some hiccups early on here.
Trade this.
There's going to be hiccups till we get all this figured
I'm
out.
going
Mhm.
to.
Or
Yep.
rather, till you get all this figured out, since all I
Yes.
do is
So
show up and babble.
It's my intention to make this
least
as
that.
easy as possible for everybody who is not me.
Well, again, there we go with he's got the possibility of building
no, I don't
reds like
see
crazy.
a survival for me at this one. I think you played very well.
Yeah, so Stevie could do a
It's just gonna be.
shopping spree of Reds.
Be rolling them in.
Yep. Gotta build the Y2 at least.
Looking very good for DodoBirb.
And that's gonna be a brutal hit. So brutal. All right.
Yeah, I think I would have built those reds since he can't build the reds at home.
Yep.
That'd be trouble because then you can go in and do the old, you take one, I'll take a three.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have such a fast clock, though, I'm like, I know that
I didn't see the clock
Babamoth
settings
is
at the
gonna
beginning.
be like, like trying to keep up with commentary because he's not the quickest on the
Yeah.
the gun here. So, right. That
Does he
here.
mean I'm saying I'm not the quickest on the gun?
I don't know what that was exactly.
I do describe myself as a
Yeah, well, I mean,
slow thinker.
I gotta have something.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah,
If I
that's
have
what
nothing,
he's
I have
saying. That
nothing. I've got to
because
have
the
like
clock is getting
like
short,
I can't
he has
just
to
sit
move
here and
faster.
just watch it
That's
happen.
true.
You know?
Okay.
Question in chat
Everyone
about
is
who went first. It was Stevie that went.
I mean, it might
On
be
this site,
worthwhile to.
you can tell who went first by who has system number 1, and when you're watching live, at least, the player who has the top clock.
All right.
So I'm watching it on my cell phone, which lays things out a little bit differently.
Yeah, so if you're watching on a very narrow screen like on a cell phone, then the clocks will be laid out horizontally, and the one on the left be the name of the player who went first. So if you're watching a game through a replay, I believe at the moment, the current version of the site will put the player who went first, so Homeworld number 1, will appear at the bottom rather than the top. Something that it confused me during one of our last casts. He's got a lot of red. I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I say. Once he got that, that now
but
all he has to do is
and,
move
and
in 2 threes, and he's got nothing he can do about it.
So the thing I would look out for, and what I think Stevie, what he's got to try to exploit somewhere, is the fact that DodoBirb can only ever attack one ship at a time. So if Stevie could find a way, and he's got medium yellows. So if Stevie could move 2 of his large reds into any of these systems at once, DodoBirb can attack one of them, but then Stevie can sacrifice one of his reds to attack back the ship that he just lost, plus several more.
Right. I call that the old you can have one, I'll take two.
Mm-hmm.
And so all he has to do is move that red into another.
But I don't think I don't think there is a good place that he could do that. The only system where DodoBirb has ships that Stevie could move two of his reds into is here in 13.
Or the
DodoBirb
Homeworld.
Stevie doesn't have the connections to move two ships into DodoBirb's
Well,
at once.
not immediately, but I don't think it's awfully over here. He's going for the blues now,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't have enough yellows to follow up with it though. If he takes out that blue, yeah, they're not connected. It's 1 and 3 is what they're at, right?
I'm not sure what you mean. They're at
DodoBird has now he moved one of them in and a little one.
Oh, so
he could
Stevie,
blow up the reds.
Yeah, he could
That's what he's threatening.
try. I think what he should be doing instead, though, like he's reconsidering that invasion of DodoBirb's home. If he were to move a large red into DodoBirb's home and move the other one into System 7, that large into System 7, DodoBirb will have to okay, well, he's not what he's.
Yeah, he's gonna blow up. He's gonna blow up the reds.
Mm-hmm.
That's his goal right now.
But
he doesn't have a green one to do it.
He can sacrifice his little green. I think he should have sacrificed his little green to. There is no red in the bank, so he couldn't have done that.
There's no red in the bank.
He's gonna have to sacrifice his other yellow to do that.
Right, that's gonna hurt.
Blows up. Okay, so he blows up the red. Their homes are now
connected.
They're
directly connected.
Yeah.
Those blues
and
he's got
one more red action. You do. Okay, so he moves it to 13. Okay, well he hasn't committed to it yet. That little blue can though just move into Stevie's home and finish the star destruction.
Mm-hmm.
He escapes, and I don't think DodoBirb just moved him in. Let's see what we give a listen to the players.
Sure.
I believe my actual best move at this point trade here. But it will not. This game is not long for this world, and I don't believe I have the proper success for this.
I can do that, and now I'm one move away from beating you.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a quick game.
I'm just gonna make sure there's no silly.
No,
areas here.
I think I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't do that. If you capture them, I can still move in and
you're
kill you.
You're gonna come in and you're gonna blow me up.
If you attack me, there's no way you can take me out this turn. So I think that is checkmate. I think that's game.
Needed to get
the best thing I can do here is sacrifice a 2-pip, to capture them. But you're only, like 1 away. So what am I gonna do, right? So. I mean, I can't destroy you in one shot, and because of our shrunken distances.
Yeah, I can just like zoom all the way in and just go bomb. That's game.
Congratulations, well done, DodoBirb.
Whew.
See, that's when
right.
You have
that
to
was me going first,
3 and
now
go ahead
we'll set up one.
Go off to another world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Game
I
over.
So
just
you may
beat me for a
take
while.
this tournament. This is good. I need to tie
This is
on this
exciting.
next
This is
one
exciting.
for us to tie,
was-
I think. And then yeah, so whoever wins this next one, I think wins the tournament.
This is good.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, no, you still have
Uh,
another game to play of someone else.
DodoBirb
Excuse
still
me.
needs
If you
to
win
play
those other
Vivid.
two games.
True.
If
Wait, who
DodoBirb
even
wins
set up against
this
actually? I didn't
next
check.
game against
I
Stevie,
can check that
then
right now.
DodoBirb can
Okay,
win the
so-
tournament by
So
winning
this
both
is
of
your
his
final
games
game,
against
essentially.
Vivid.
This is my final game. That's my first loss.
This is as exciting as
Yep.
Homeworlds gets.
I
This is
still
the
have
tournament's
to
on the line.
play. So next week I have to wait. Is it my final game as well?
So you haven't played
Oh no, I haven't played against Vivid. Oh, okay.
Vivid. Right, you haven't played tournament games towards Vivid. You played Vivid in the past, but not as tournament games.
I will
Alright.
have to play. So basically, I mean, I don't want to be rude here, but like, I don't know about if Vivid has a higher chance of beating me. So this is really, I guess,
Well, let's take a look at
the peak
that's
of
my
the
point.
tournament, most likely.
I don't want to be rude either, but I think your strength is, I think you have a high chance of beating Vivid.
Vivid has
I'll put it that
won,
way.
2 of his 8 games so far. 2 of their 8
Okay,
games
so
so
I
far.
think that this is basically for the
So
tournament.
based just on that,
Good, I like
I don't know
this.
Vivid
This is the way it
much,
should
but
come down
based
to
just
it.
on that
And that was
information,
well
I think
played.
that
Thank you for
DodoBirb
that
has
game,
a good chance of
DodoBirb.
winning
That was awesome.
his games against Vivid. So,
Yeah. Okay.
so this game could
All right, do
very
you
well
want to
be
start
for
the
the
game, or do you
tournament.
want me to?
I'll start the game. So,
All right.
first player, you go
Mhm.
first.
Yeah, I'll be going first. You'll invite.
I'll invite you. Use time control. 25
I wouldn't
minutes.
mind a few more minutes than 25 personally, but
So our peanut gallery has figured
We'll
out
we'll go
he
with
would
what
have
you like. I
won
like that
one
there's
move
some pressure. I
earlier.
mean, you're definitely playing like a speed chess, playing the clock. You know, it's like
yeah.
I'd like to think the game out a little bit further. I've enjoyed doing that with other
I
players,
was,
especially
I was
like
watching
those who could
Stevie's
use that
position
extra
so
time. I
carefully,
like
trying to
that
think, okay,
they
is there
felt a little bit
anything
more-
at all that Stevie could do that I knew that DodoBirb was going to win unless Stevie did came up with something very clever. So it may very well be that DodoBirb turned earlier and I did. Okay, so here we see the time controls. They've got 25 minutes on the clock to start with, and when their turn begins, they've got 15 seconds of delay before the clock actually starts counting. I think that's the same time setting that they had before. I believe that those are the default time settings that I announced for the tournament, that if players can't agree to anything else, then they should default to those time settings. But everybody's welcome to use longer clocks if they've got the time. I wanted to have a fairly quick clock as the default to protect people who are in a hurry.
Yeah.
Okay, and it should be DodoBirb going first in this game. Audio.
Let's see. All right.
Okay, so
That was a good game. Thank you for that. That was a lot of fun.
go. Let's do this.
Yep.
No
I know you
messing
kind of
around.
like, an investor, and I like to play something fun, which I like to call lemon lime pirate. A little different than you might have been used to. I'm gonna play it just because I have fun doing it. I probably won't win, but I like it.
Stevie's been favoring these Gemini.
I need to look at
Same-
this quick.
Same sized
So
home
you're
stars
basically
I like it.
rush
It's
out
like-
blues.
lately, and in
This is
particular,
my
he's
fun.
been
Wondering
right
if
to
there's-
call it the
Because
lemon
then
lime
you can
starts
just
to
like
have
full on just get in my home quick.
green and yellow stars to begin and a blue ship, which is not something that I see very often. But
So he's got
Stevie's-
2 3s. Is that what he's got?
he's got 2 large stars for his homeworld. 2
So
threes.
they are directly
So the-
connected.
Their homeworlds are directly connected, and
We have microverse.
it is a microverse. So this could be a very short, exciting game.
I haven't found them all that shorter. I mean, you have to really watch what you have in your homeworld,
They're going to have to be very on
you
the
have
ball.
to
if nothing
leave your
else.
homeworld to build and develop. And yeah, I haven't found them to be that much shorter.
We shall
I
see.
do like the.
They're short. They're certainly shorter if somebody makes a huge mistake.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because the risk is there, because you're right there at each other's door. And now he has no green.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do that. He switched it
Yeah,
back. He was considering trading his large for a yellow, which would have put DodoBirb in. Let's see, sorry, which would have put Stevie in check, because Stevie's just got his 3 blues, and if he had done nothing, then DodoBirb could have moved in his 1 blue for the game-winning catastrophe. But I don't think that Steve would have fallen for it by passing. If he did absolutely anything other than build yet another blue, he would have dodged that.
Right.
So no,
Right.
not
He
much
would move
danger
out or switch to a green or a red at home.
there. Mm-hmm.
A number of things.
Man. The players aren't talking either.
Yeah, and
There
he's
you go.
right now.
That's right.
We're in risk of a blow up.
Ow, you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Nope,
Oh,
wait.
interesting.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to
he
click.
accidentally sacrificed
this.
his large blue. Okay.
okay.
He's traded
that
it
makes
for
Now we're
red.
bit more
better off.
sense.
Yes, that would have been weird.
Oh boy, now we're cooking.
Okay,
These are the kind of
now
mistakes that people make,
you've
though.
got
I
all
make
the
anyway.
colors.
It's one thing to click the wrong button accidentally. It's another to
You.
go through it and then hit the end turn button when you've.
So now, are you wishing you had such a short clock? Not quite used to. So I really like. I'm going to die on this hill. I want to play this at the what I thought was the apex of the the end of really my run of playing this game. That's exactly kind of what I wanted to feel like I was doing here. So
Yeah. Hmm.
Sack the yellow too, and he can blow up half the blues right now if he doesn't move it out.
Yes.
What to move stuff out?
I don't know if that's
Wherever I move it to, it's always further from your homeworld.
Okay, well.
There you
At
go.
least
DodoBirb
that's
doesn't want to
isn't
take
that
chance.
something
He's
that's kind of
moving out.
lovely about this?
And by
we
moving to a
start off
large,
side by side and literally can only move further away.
colony is farther from
Literally.
Stevie's home than his home is.
So I'm actually
See, now the DodoBird's, to me, benefit is that he can move to a 1 or a 2 star and still get to the homeworld.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, DodoBirb can stash. If DodoBirb is working on invading Stevie's home, he can stash that fleet at small and medium system.
Right.
Invade.
And
I'm a little out of my element commentating on a match with a microverse. Something I see very often.
This is something that Trident loves to play.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeah, he and I have gone through a number of games like this just to see what happens. And initially, we thought it was going to be short games. They are shorter typically, but I've had some games that were longer with the microverse.
Okay, so they're both vying for the blues here. Stevie has opened up the large blue, but if DodoBirb takes one, he might choose to sacrifice his medium. DodoBirb, it looks like, is not going to take that large. He's going to wait for a yellow. Yellow is a color that Stevie will be able to build a little less easily because he's got that yellow star in his home. DodoBirb's already got the head start on building those. Okay, so it looks like Stevie's gonna start his invasion very early. It'll take every ship he's got, every ship but his large red at home. But he can blow up DodoBirb's blue star. Not having a blue star at home can be pretty troublesome. You haven't got all the colors you need.
Yeah. Because if you do take it, then I can just send the other two in. So it just takes up your turn.
But if he doesn't take it, he can send them in one at a time and save his yellow too.
Yes, I think that DodoBirb should capture that beat.
I think he's
psyching
him out.
You can use your turn to do something else, I suppose. But it does make it a little thing more, a little more perspiration, a little bit more heart rate, because we're in each other's faces. I was super happy to see like John Cooper played something very similar. But he played not a binary a Gemini system. He didn't play a Gemini system for his binary star. So let's.
Yes, in your game,
yeah, you're coming in for that.
John,
I totally see what you're going to do, and it's not going to be fun. But
John, it started out with a green-yellow homeworld.
John likes to have different games, and he likes to play aggressive as well. And this is an aggressive move. And you were talking about their last game as to what can he do to get out of it. I've seen both Trident and John pull some moves that
but if you...
I just never see.
Actually, no, that's not a problem. We're still fine. This should work.
That should work, right?
Well, right now he can just keep building anything he wants because it doesn't matter.
But hang on, let me reset this. I'm going to.
So if Stevie starts attacking these little ships,
I was wondering if he was going to do that. He made the catastrophe. Let's see if he stays that way.
I think that's worthwhile for me to do at this point.
He kept it.
No, now he takes it. That makes sense.
That's fine.
I don't see the benefit there.
No, neither do I.
I think he lost
You're still in the same pickle you were before.
I think Stevie had quite a good thing going. He was going to blow up the star, but
one at a time. Doing it with his yellow 2 made no sense at all to me. But the one at a time move was advantageous.
Comes.
And just looking at the other things on the board, I think he could have just about guaranteed himself a draw, because he's got a red ship at home. If he'd built a couple more reds, he could have saved his medium yellow, just moving the blues in one at a time, and then built a few reds here at home, moving the large red.
And did the same thing.
DodoBirb's forced to attack it, and then he sacrifices that medium yellow, moving the other two reds. That's a draw right there. So Stevie could have guaranteed himself a draw.
So he's deciding to do it now.
This is the right
win. Okay, so and he did it with a sacrifice.
Do it now. It's not like it's a wonderful setup, but this is, I think, it's not great because there's
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
You have no blue.
Not
That
at
is
this time.
interesting.
No,
I do not have
Which
blue at
means
this
I
time.
don't
I
think this
think
is good. And
I
Stevie could
He
have
doesn't
done
have
this.
anything but a red 3.
Stevie could have put himself in the same position a while ago, but DodoBirb would have been in a lesser position, I think. But
fade
delayed,
into red.
I think that's not a good idea.
Okay. Go for it. Let's see how that goes.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Yep.
so his
All right.
position now is just to build reds so that he doesn't have enough of them to.
You're going to do
attack.
red.
Hmm?
I'm going to build another red.
And he
Yep.
doesn't have a yellow at home,
That
so
puts
this
you
red going in
Yeah. Yeah.
will
and
have
in
this is
check,
value here.
which means you have to move.
blue, and I will move to a blue.
Yeah,
It was.
DodoBirb
I would
can
rather
threaten
have
that.
gone a little
And
slower
now
on
he
that
can't grow.
attack,
He can't
but
grow a red at home.
this is going to be, you
Mhm.
know, what I'm going to have to end up.
It's-
This is nightmare right now.
And now I can.
Oh, I should have.
Stevie
Oh,
cornered
yeah.
him.
I'm okay.
He just
What I
noticed.
initially was thinking is do this.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's it. That's it right there.
And then you have to do something.
Yeah.
You have to capture one,
That
and then I
seemed
build
faster
another
than I
one.
thought. Yep.
And then
I
I
mean,
think that
we
is
could do the
the
stalemate. If we stalemate, we if I just capture one, and you capture it back, and I capture one, and you capture one, we
No,
do that. That's a
if-
stalemate, and then we trade the
But
tournament.
he'll just
Do you
grow.
want
He doesn't have to
to
capture
accept
back.
No,
a-
He just has to
he
grow.
doesn't capture.
a
It grows.
stalemate?
Yeah.
well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think
I think
I have
DodoBirb
other
sees it,
ideas in
Stevie
mind.
doesn't.
Oh, you would grow the extra red. Got
Oh,
it.
yes.
No. You're right. You can't. I can't. So I would
I
have
don't-
to sacrifice to capture the 2. Right.
No, you can't because you don't have any ships there.
I don't have any ships in there. Oh, I lost. Oh, you won this tournament. How well done. I blundered this. I went too soon for that last maneuver. Absolutely. Well done. I moved out and yep, you did it right. You played this very well, and I
Gee, what
think
a
you
game.
deserve to win this tournament. This is awesome.
Oh,
This is
that was a very short but also very confusing game.
I
Is
died
it
on that
possible
hill,
for you to
and
turn us on
I'm
to
going to root for
to
Vivets,
their
or
channel?
who is it? Yeah, Vivets that you have to play.
Yeah.
No, that was. I mean, this has a lot of Achilles heel, but I really enjoy this scenario, and you played it perfectly. No, you played this absolutely perfectly. So, congrats to that. I really enjoyed that, and you're right. I overlooked a lot. Yep. I was
Jonathan,
thinking
can
the
you
slow
tie the
red.
channels
I
together
went
to
a
where
little
we
too
can
early.
talk all
I should have
with
waited.
the
I should. So I was hoping
You know, that would
to
be
be able
a
to
really
build
neat thing
another
to do.
blue before doing it. That's the one problem. I was like, oh, back on. Ooh, what turn is
But
this? So I'm gonna.
I don't think I can.
Here, I'm just going
I need
to.
to,
I think the game
I
really
need to study my
spiraled
virtual
out of
wires to
control
figure out how to do that.
when you had no blue at all.
Right. So
Because
what I'm going
that
to
makes
do.
you really vulnerable because I can
Right.
just focus red and you can only build more reds
Right.
basically.
No, so you got this game. So I'll let you finish it up, and boom, and well
Or-
done.
Well, actually, you know what? If I
Very well played, DodoBirb. Excellent. I was super excited to play you. You seem to be like the person to play in this tournament. This was great. I was surprised when was it Cappy got you on time, or no? What was it? There was a game that who is it that got one?
It was Cappy. He got 1 point on me.
Yeah, was it because of time? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't because of time. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I've actually. The only person who I've played that's lost on time was, I think, when I played Twez. He lost on time to me.
Yeah, that was it. I think I watched that, or I looked at your game that did that. That was excellent, and I gotta say, that was well played. I enjoyed every minute of it. I'm sad that that I didn't win the tournament.
Yeah.
Because you totally are gonna get this when you play Vivets. If you lose once the Vivets, I will feel bad. because then I mean we'll still tie if you lose one and you get the other one,
Yeah.
unless you tie one and then lose the other one. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But this was fantastic.
By the way,
And
all the paperwork.
yeah,
Is it? I just fill out both game finishes.
Sure. I mean, do you want to talk about this game at all a little bit?
Yeah, I
Stevie's
just
great
like
sport.
I just want to make sure that like we get that out of the way.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now
Maybe they're gonna go back up and watch
I
them
totally
again.
understand you want to secure your win.
Yeah, I do appreciate
Absolutely.
that, Stevie. He's been
and
really
those
nice
were
about all this.
great. And I'm glad I got to play what I did. And don't regret playing what I like to call the Orion Pirates with a lemon lime Gemini system. Like a lemon lime large. You got to get a large on that. That's great. And I knew you liked I did my homework, so I knew you liked the Investor binary star.
Yeah.
So I anticipated, whether you're going to have the yellow or the red. And so it's a really risky setup, but I like playing it. I'm going to have to modify it quite a bit because it's not a winning. It's got too many Achilles heels because everyone's growing green. It's a green, like you can throw one ship. If you throw two ships in there, if they don't have a red to capture both of them, then you can just build as you did. And yeah, I wasn't able to switch it. I should have waited a turn before catastrophing you. I should have got the extra blue. I was hoping I was going to be able to do it by sending in a second blue ship into your homeworld. And then instead of throwing that third one in, but you were already putting pressure on me. So I was hoping to build another one at home before I sent it in. But I couldn't, I was like, I think that was my move. And let's see what move that is that would have done it.
Can you back us up, Jonathan?
Yeah, let me
to the point that they're talking
in
about.
archive viewer, is there actually a way to check what
find it.
turn you're viewing? It doesn't look like it.
That's true. If Pi is listening, that would be an awesome thing. I would love to see that. Yeah, an option to be able to see what turn that is. But as soon as I had to stack, I had two ships in there, and then you brought your blue ship. Or no, you did the yellow ships. Yeah, I did a yellow sacrifice. I wanted to slow you down from destroying mine, and so I started to slow again. Another blue.
Yeah, like on the turn right before you go for the blue sacrifice, the blue catastrophe into my homeworld.
When you had
a move, you really couldn't do. You either would have had to just play a kind of defensive move, or you could have just gone aggressive, which you did decide to go aggressive there. But you couldn't just like build another blue there on that turn.
Because that you would have sacrificed your yellow to do it. What I should have done is I should have waited, and I just jumped the gun. I should have put another ship in there. I should have swapped that blue for another piece, but then I lose my shot. You got your piece in the right spot. I should have traded it for a red 2, then moved it in at star 5. Come after you. Are you looking at the move I'm looking at?
Presumably.
Yeah. Where I have two blue ships, the red, you have a blue 1 ship at 5.
Yeah.
And we both still have a 2-pip yellow, right? And you have a green, blue, green at your homeworld. Instead of sacrificing the yellow then, and I was like, I just got to do it. I got to be spectacular about this. And then I don't have to worry so much about blue. But then I didn't have any blue. That was the biggest trouble. And you were like, you just switched to red, like you were good to go,
Yeah.
So, you played everything I threw at you. You played correctly. I was looking for like if there'd be a blunder anywhere along the line, but you saw everything that could have happened, and you played it out with. And I was surprised because I knew you weren't playing this. I don't know if you looked at any of my previous games on this, but
I didn't really do too much study.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't do as much homework as I probably did. But that's okay. You won it. So you totally saw each and every one of these, moves, and you totally won this tournament. But here at this step where we're looking at it with with my star 4 with the yellow, instead of sacrificing it and destroying it, I was in too much of a rush. I mean, I would wonder what John Cooper would have done at that place, because he also likes to get in people's faces. And I'm just thinking I probably should have sent it. I should have turned it into a red 2, played slower, and then sent the red 2 at your blue 1 at the green star. What I should have done, and then just started building red. You know, because either you sent it in, I capture it, but you wouldn't. You know, like you'd probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd have started building your yellow fleet, and I would have been with you on that, trying to capture yellows as well, sending them out. But yeah, that's where I got too anxious, and it cost me.
Yeah.
And you played it absolutely right. I was thinking, okay, if I have just one breathing step in there, I could have recovered. I could have built another red, sent it out, swapped, you know, to a blue, you know, and then started like swap my homeworld red to like a blue or something different, or you know, and kept, or I don't know, like built another red in there, at least gotten a chance in there. But you did it exactly right. Well done, DodoBirb.
That was probably the most interesting game of the tournament, because pretty much all the other ones have been
really fun
pretty standard. But then this
I'm
one
glad
was
you
just...
said so. I enjoyed it.
I've never
This
seen
is
a
something I
standard game
want
of
to,
Homeworlds.
you know, perfect a little. I mean, you know, it's got its Achilles heels. There's like problems throughout it, but I don't believe Andy's seen this, and this is something I want to like play him with, and he's probably going to watch this, so now he's going to be totally aware. But I would love to play Andy it and like see, you know, like I mean, he would probably, you know, trounce me, but I still want to do it, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting thing. Like, despite how, I guess, much this game's been analyzed, there's still openings like this that are still kind of interesting and could have potential. Maybe.
And John Cooper, if you see his game that he played on here, you know, you're gonna see that he plays something very similar, like, or like something abstract like that, where he's, you know, he's playing like a green, yellow, blue kind of setup, but he didn't play it so close. I'm playing it like microverse, you know,
Yeah.
like green, yellow, blue, and I like it, and it's like heart racing, but it's got problems, and it's not.
Yeah, it definitely has problems.
Yeah, it's not a like, oh, this wins every time. It's just not there. It's not that.
Yeah.
So well played, DodoBirb. I'm thrilled to have played this, and I'm happy this is the way I lost.
He said he wanted to die on this hill.
This was great. All right, this is fantastic. All right, I'll
right
just
here
have
in their
to,
analysis at the end as well.
you know, we'll see how you do against Vivitz, and I'll be happy to take second place.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, DodoBirb.
And
yeah.
So the players can hear me now. I wanted to say thank you for letting us watch. We had a whole lot of fun.
Excellent. Good.
And the players hear
I'm
me
glad
as well,
people
or
enjoyed
no?
it.
No, so Will was asking if you guys can hear him. You cannot, because I don't have it set
Tell
up
him
that
good
way.
game.
Will says good game.
Thank you, Will. Thank you.
And I need to
Yeah,
play
that was-
I'm sure he's
Stevie
meaning
before he
DodoBirb.
reviews all my games.
And Will says he wants to play you, Stevie, before you have a chance to review all of his games, find all of his weaknesses.
Yes, I want to do a little bit of homework on Will's games. I
No
enjoyed
homework.
watching his commentaries, you know, with you. So, I like when watching that, you can see my comments in the YouTube of that that commentary that you and Will just did of his game with John Cooper. And you know, I was like, no, John Cooper needs to build a yellow at home here and sacrifice this and pull, you know. So, you know, I just wish I, you know, screaming at this, you know, screen. It was great. It was a lot of fun watching that, and I love this game. This game's just so good. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I'm thinking about closing up the stream. All right.
Sure,
Tell
that's a good
Stevie
idea.
that I'll play him sometime.
Yeah, Will says he wants to play you both sometime.
I'm sure we're both happy to do that.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, DodoBirb, on a couple of victories here. good luck in your remaining games, and maybe able to close out the cadets division. That'd be really exciting.
Yes, see ya.
Very good. All right.
If you lose one, I won't mind tying.
Sure.
Well, I kind of hope that I don't lose one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine you're gonna do a shutout. I think this is good.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, talk to you later. In my time zone, I'll say good night.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
evening and good night.
Bye.
Thanks,
All right, well,
Jonathan. Great job.
Yep, I've just left the call with the players, and thank you so much for joining me, Will. I'd like to have you on for more commentaries in the future too. Like to
Yeah, I have no
at
problem
some
with
point, I'd
that.
like to get a more regular schedule, so I'm not.
Yeah, I'd like
trying
to. I mean, there's a couple things. We're not on right now, right?
Oh, we are still we are still streaming. But if there are some things you'd like to talk about off the stream, then we can close this up. Thank everybody for watching, and I'll talk with you some more, Will, about organizational stuff afterward. How does that sound?
Yeah, it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who's watching. The description of this stream and video will have links to information about the tournament and about the game. If you have watched this far and have no idea how to play Homeworlds, then I am impressed with your patience. But you should check out the link in the description to learn more about the game. And maybe you can join us in the next tournament. I'd like to do another one of these. Thank you very much.